Dan, you have written about Joe Wood's defense having all the pieces and being ready to go. Take us through the thought process and what you are thinking with Joe Woods.
Well, this is a big year for Joe Woods in this defense that he wants to implement. He finally has the safeties he wants. He finally has the secondary he wants. This is the guy that ran a lot of dime when he was the defensive coordinator with Denver. So he's got an opportunity to create a pass rush with four and cover with everybody else. He's got all sorts of versatility. He didn't want to admit it to us necessarily, didn't come out and say it, but those injuries last year really kind of hampered what he wanted to do. And he wasn't really wanting to make excuses when we talked to him at the end of minicamp, but he sort of said it without saying it. So I think he's excited for this year, and I think Browns fans should be excited for this year defensively.
The other thing that became abundantly clear, the versatility was by design so they can go matchup dependent on who they're playing.
Yeah, exactly. And they can, if they want to go heavy on safeties, they can go heavy on safeties. If they want to play, nickel a bunch, they can do that. They can play a bunch of linebackers if they want. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, if he kind of hits the ground running, he gives them a lot of options. So they can make life really difficult for quarterbacks because, you just don't know what you're going to see. Even play to play, series to series, game to game. It's going to be really hard to kind of lock down, I think, what this defense is.
When you look at the depth, that's a pretty significant upgrade. Is there one level of the defense that you think is more deep, if you will, that has more depth than the other?
Probably defensive line. I just think there's a lot of guys there who can be really effective. You look at the interior of the line, you've added a bunch of bodies. You lost Sheldon Richardson and Larry Ogunjobi, so you lost two starters from last year, but I think you've replaced them. And I think you have a lot of nice, young, intriguing options behind the two guys that might end up starting there. Jadeveon Clowney on the edge with Takk McKinley, Myles Garrett on one side. You've got some other kind of intriguing young guys too, and a guy like a Porter Gustin or a Joe Jackson, some guys that could maybe develop. So I think the defensive line is really where the depth lies in this group.